Alright, 100% full disclosure on this video. My hair looks bad. Let me put my hat back on. 100% full disclosure on this video. The reason I'm doing this full in-depth review is because we've stayed at the Wyndham Garden.
Whatever it says.
I think it's just the Wyndham Garden. It's the Disney Springs Wyndham Resort.
It says Wyndham Lake Buena Vista Resort in the Walt Disney World Resort.
Yeah.
In the Walt Disney World Resort. So it's not...
Yeah, but full disclosure, we are staying for free. We have a voucher because the last experience was so terrible, and it started before we even checked in. And once again, we have literally been on property 10 minutes. When I pulled up, there was nobody, and it said check in here. That's back there. Back there.
It says it's a fire lane.
Yeah, and up here it says no parking, fire lane. Right? That is a hazard.
He's having everyone parked here.
So if this building catches fire,
I hope it doesn't. Everyone
inside is going to die. And that's being a little extreme. I'm aware that that's extreme. But fire lanes are designated for a reason, and the law states you can't park in front of a fire lane. So I said I'm not going to move. I'm in the spot that says guest check-in, and they're like, well, this is for valet. I'm like, it doesn't say valet. Valet is the part behind that. I'm going to check in.
Last time they didn't have a problem. They wanted us, like, they didn't want us, we parked where they moved us to last time, and he made me move the car.
Yeah, and last time the issue was that the valet guy, after I went inside, jumped in my car and moved it without my permission. This time, he literally harassed my wife from the moment I walked in that door until she got fed up and just moved it into an illegal spot. So, immediately, like strike one, before you even walk in the store. And the other problem was the reason I didn't want the valet touching my car. I watched them drive a vehicle into one of these concrete pylons back here. Like they were trying to serpentine and just scrape the side of someone's vehicle and then dropped it off as if nothing happened and waited for them to drive away and discovered it at a later date. So
I just saw one of the guys get in the Kia that was in front of us and like whole butt like on two tires in a van like in front of the building. No, yeah. They will not touch my car. They will not.
Yeah, I don't want the valet here touching my car because every time we've seen them in a car, it's been bad. So we're gonna go park, but already the review is off to a bad start yet again because they hire valet and I don't know if they're contracted. I don't know if they're employed by Wyndham, but that's the worst thing you can do is make a bad first impression, and the first thing anyone sees before they walk into a resort is the person that greets them. And if that's the valet and they get argumentative and tell you you can't park in the designated parking area, that's a problem. So there's that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm already tempers flared, but we're gonna go because we're exhausted and we're hungry, so we're gonna go do a quick review. I guess this is number 2 because of the impression left by that thing. This is every light on in this room. And with every light on in this room, my camera is in low light mode. And it's still daylight outside, so there's still actual light coming through the window. Now, this hotel is more per night than the average price of a Disney value resort. We've stayed at Disney Springs hotels before, and it was essentially the reason we liked it. We stayed at, I don't remember, and we're not reviewing them, and they're not paying me, so I'm not gonna, it doesn't matter. Before it didn't matter, and if you go back and watch my review, it's because we essentially got some of the amenities and the, I guess, some of the perks and room size and niceness of a deluxe resort for slightly more than a Disney value resort. This table, I know I'm a big dude, but I'm standing here and I'm touching both, I just lost my glasses, the table and the bed at the same time. If I wanted to freely sit in this chair, I would disturb, like, for example, if I wanted to read or play 3DS or do anything, play Pokemon on my phone, while my wife or anyone was laying down, or if we decided to stay here multiple nights and let the kids take a nap, I couldn't even get to that chair, and neither could a normal person, because even though I'm a large man, that was me squeezed in. So there's almost no room for a human being between the bed and the table to get to the chair. These, on Priceline, they were advertised as queen-size beds. I went back and looked at my Priceline paperwork. That is one of the reasons, because at first they didn't even want to do anything to make up for it, because we booked through Priceline. They're like, oh, you booked through Priceline. These are full-size beds. Again, big dude. Again, I know that I'm faulting on a lot of petty stuff here, but at the price you're paying to stay in a Disney Springs resort, to get 2 full-size beds, the darkest room I've ever been in, which gives it a dank feeling, and in the time I've said that sentence, look, I'm at the other end of the room. I'm nothing. I'm not joking when I say the Disney value resorts are larger than this room. I've stayed at Motel 6s larger than this room. I'm about to hit my head on the ceiling of this room. That's how close. The mirror.
What is on that mirror?
Oh, that's gross. First of all, the mirror is moldy.
No, I think it's just scratched.
Oh, well, it looks like mold.
I don't know.
From where I'm standing, like my perspective, if I put the camera there, looking how, all right, so I can't get the angle right, but where I'm standing, I can't, like the top of my head doesn't reach the mirror. This is not like, again, small petty stuff.
Don't touch that. What if it is mold?
I don't know. I hope it's not mold. That's grody though. It's
mirrors
gross.
Like chip, so that's all I thought it was.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's gross. Like, but all these small petty things, if I was staying at the Hojo with my family or a Motel 6, yeah, it's whatever. But to pay the price or more, and this one is officially more, and I'm going to tell you why. They offered us, in exchange for changing my review, because I went and left a negative Facebook review, and they're like, listen, you booked through Priceline, there's not much we can do, and then I was like, well, okay. And then when we went on about we brought up the Priceline contract, the queen size bed thing, and they're like, okay, so what we'll do, we will give you one of our nicer rooms for free in exchange for you changing the review. Now again, nicer room, still 2 full-size beds, and the 2 full-size beds don't even fit in the room the same way 2 queens do in another Disney Springs resort or in a Disney value. They offered me a nicer room because they offered me a pool view room. Now, I was like, hey, do you guys have anything with, a couple queens, maybe something larger? Maybe we just got the bottom of the barrel because that's how Priceline rolls. They're like, no, every room is like this unless you get 1 king size. Now, this is their pool view room. I walk out of the room, I see this. Yes, there is the pool. Let me know. Like, am I overreacting on this? That's not like yes, I can see the pool there and some there, but there's a roof and there's building and there's building. Like, if you took a Motel 6, made the rooms somehow smaller and stacked them on top of each other, that's what this resort is. And it's not a resort. And again, I bring that up because on top of costing, that's where I was going when I was walking out the door. On top of costing as much or more than a Disney value or Disney moderate resort, they charge a resort fee, which is $25, $35. A parking fee, which is $15, which I know that Disney is now charging parking fees, but that's ridiculous here. Like, if I walk into a Motel 6 and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, this is a resort. we're gonna have to charge you a resort fee. I'm gonna laugh in their face. And that's essentially what my review was when I made the review that, you know, triggered this whole thing. So I was hoping for a better experience. I haven't even gotten to the other issues that we had before. There was like nasty dirt rings in the bathroom. Zoom. Yep, that's either dirt or mold. Whatever it is, I'm not wiping it. It's gross. I don't know. Again, if I'm overreacting, please feel free to tell me in the comments below, but I'm trying to do this as honest and open as possible. I want all the information given up front. I'm staying here for free. I'm not letting that sway my opinion. I'm trying to have a positive and fresh outlook and not let the last time. But again, as soon as I pulled up, first impression is everything. And that has, I don't want to say it's triggered me, but that's the best. It's triggered me for the rest of this review. So maybe if I calm down a little bit, but again, I'm going to be squeezing through this. A lot of it is the size. You're not getting anywhere near your value of what you're paying. If this was a $59, $69 hotel, even then the resort fee on top of it would be too much. If this was an $80 hotel with no resort fee, that's it. That's the cutoff. If you get on Priceline and you see the Wyndham Garden Lake Buena Vista for 80 bucks with no resort fee and no parking fee, that's the time to book. And that is the only time I would book, and I would only use it as a sleeping arrangement. And again, if you're a large person or traveling with family, don't do that. Because you will get full-size beds if you need more than one bed. Or a king or queen. I don't know. Again, because we were supposed to be getting 2 queen-size beds, got 2 full-size beds. They tell you it's a king in the single. Maybe it's a queen. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on that. I'm going to guess because, you know, I'm a jerk. And I'm already salty. But, yeah, so that's the review of the Wyndham Garden Lake Buena Vista. I may walk around and get some B-roll, may chop that in as I go, but if not, it's because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I'm going to go eat, and then I'm only going to come back here at the very last minute when I'm ready to crash. So, as always, stay dorky.